wasn't expecting it. Look, like I love ballerinas and dancers. They always look so elegant. They always look stunning and graceful. And I really love that graceful feel. But that was not me in this class at all. I looked and moved like a newborn animal. When a newborn animal is just born and what else? It just looks ridiculous. It has no sense of balance, no sense of nothing. So for this challenge, I structured my workouts and I chose the workouts that I wanted, and I went for workouts that did not need any equipment. And I have done Les Mills programs before. So I did combat, which I've done before. I did Shabam, which I've done before. And I did body balance, which I've done before. And I tried bar, which I had never done before. So I was trying to do 4 programs a day, 1 to 4 programs a day, which was like about, let's just say about 3 to 4 hours of working out a day. It started off great. I was like so pumped. Then I kind of started hitting these like physical and emotional bumps, and I just couldn't do it continuously. There was just a lot of that. Like, it was weird, because I was like, I can do this, I've done this before. But I did feel a lot of a sense of like I failed somewhat. But at the same time, for example, the last week of my challenge, my sternum started hurting. Like, yeah, literally, like the thing on your rib cage, it just started hurting, and it's like I couldn't stretch it out. All the body balance, all the flow work, all the exercising and the dancing and the movement was just not releasing that tension for me, and that just really put me off exercise, particularly because I didn't know what triggered it. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna do. But I did a little more Shabam because I really had fun with it. It was a workout exercise that I really enjoyed. So the things that I would say I learned and I take away from this experience was, firstly, have a plan. When you get into this, have a plan. I feel like I went into the deep end because I was just trying. I basically kind of taken like a month where because of quarantine and I couldn't have access to the gym, and I kind of just lost my way, and I was like, I'm just gonna dive in. And I feel like I took on too much too fast, and I burnt out. And I think that's something that I definitely would say, they have a plan. So the thing about Les Mills On Demand is they actually have plans that you can follow on their website. So you can follow them, and then they give you a variety of things to do. And also, maybe don't try to do 3 to 4 hours off the bat. Maybe start off with 1 hour and do different workouts every day instead of trying to do all of your favorite programs at once. But in my defense, one of the reasons I did do as many programs is because I was on a membership from the gym, and I knew it was expiring in a month, and I felt like I wanted to maximize on that. That did not work out the way I wanted, but it was absolutely a blast, and I definitely would suggest it for anyone who doesn't like running. Okay, so I don't have a problem with running, even though my breathing is something I need to work on, but I do have an issue with my knees. So for me, a lot of cardio needs to be cardio that is very gentle on my knees, and that's why I chose combat, and that's why I chose Shabam, because these were things that I knew I could work on. So for one of the days, unfortunately I didn't record it, but I had my Samsung watch on, and I walked basically 10,000 steps whilst doing my combat and my Shabam. So it's just like something you can do in terms of cardio. So for me, my theory is my philosophy is you always pick workouts you enjoy, things you have fun with. So I enjoy Shabam. I really had so much fun with it. I definitely recommend it for anyone else who wants to try it. The Shabam also, Les Mills also has a Facebook group, which I found was actually amazing. Like, you know how a lot of things have groups, and then the groups don't have a lot of engagement, or you post and your posts don't get engagement, they don't get content, and it feels like you're just speaking into a void. That was not the Les Mills On Demand group. The Les Mills On Demand group is a bunch of very diverse people in terms of age, race, location, just very diverse group of people, and they're so supportive. It's such a beautifully supportive network, and I enjoyed that. Personally, I didn't need anyone to recommend me a workout, but it was always nice to read those comments or see those body transformations and feel like you're part of something bigger and an actively living, breathing thing, or hear people comment about things that you're feeling at home. So the experience of working out at home and alone didn't feel so at home and alone. So I definitely loved the community aspects of Les Mills on Demand. So the things that I didn't like about it, the things I didn't like about it would definitely be, ooh, honestly, this is a hard one. I've done it before, so I did enjoy it. I did find bar a little hard, but that's also because I have no dancing background, and doing it, I just felt so out of my body. So that was a big thing. But then on the Facebook group, because I did post to ask if anyone else felt this way, like people with non-dancing backgrounds, and a lot of people were like, don't try to feel elegant. I am a perfectionist. I need to feel elegant. I need to feel beautiful. I need to feel powerful. I needed it to do everything for me, and it was not doing it. But somebody suggested that instead of doing what I was doing, where I was basically having a different workout every day, is stick to one workout until you master the moves, and then move to the next workout to make it easier. Definitely, if I do try bar again, I will definitely do that strategy, because I do think it would help. Then in terms of, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. So in terms of difficulty, I do feel like because you're working out at home and it's a follow along, it's really up to you to modify. And I have to say, Dr. Jackie for Body Balance is my favorite in terms of that. She really does teach the class with such emphasis on modifications, which is why I personally prefer, for my group fitness classes or even my training, I prefer older trainers, because I feel like there is a awareness of the fact that this body needs more care, because they're looking at lifetime of activity, and they bring that wisdom in terms of injury and just awareness of the body. So I really do enjoy her. She's great for that. The cons, definitely the cons for me were space, and this is not a program thing. So for me, the only space I have to work out is less than 4 square meters. So that's a very, very tiny space. So sometimes I'll be working out and I'll just feel like I can't move, or I can't put 100 into certain moves. And I also live in an apartment, so some of the jumps and the kicks, I was very self-conscious of making noise or affecting my neighbors. So that was something that I do feel. But then I think those things are not necessarily unique to Les Mills. They're more unique to the experience of working out at home. As for the results, I didn't change my diet. If anything, I feel like I know it's not weird, but I actually feel like I started eating more before I started, during this process that I did before, and so that definitely affected my results in terms of how my body changed. But I'm surprised though, because I was eating way more than I eat out of quarantine, and I still managed to basically maintain my weight. And I think that maintenance thing was also something that is equally as important, to just be at a point where I wasn't gaining, because I honestly thought I had gained about 2 to 3 kgs, but it turned out that I actually lost like 0.3 kgs, which is not a lot. Actually, yeah, 0.3 kgs. It's not a lot, but what it did for me was to realize that my body kind of found a place to stay in, equilibrium. And then, so in terms of the price, I'm not sure, but I'm going to stick it in there and you can watch it. Would I recommend Les Mills on Demand? Yes, absolutely. If you have Les Mills in your class, you should do it. Okay, so I am biased because even prior to this, I want to become a Les Mills instructor, but for body combat and for Shabam now, and also for body balance. So these are like my 3 favorite workouts. And I have done other Les Mills programs as well. I've done grit, I have done spin, I have done attack, I have done pump. Okay, so I've done a different branch of them, but I normally do them at the gym, and some of them is because of the equipment. So I don't have a bike, and I don't have weights, or these kind of things, and I don't have like bands, and those were things that were limiting also the types of things that I did. I found out by accident almost that they have a child friendly also bunch of workouts, which I loved, by the way. There was this thing that was like trained like the Avengers. I loved it. It was like these cool moves. absolutely loved it. I loved the simplicity of it. I loved the graphics of it. I feel like if I had a bigger screen like to work out with, it would be really nice. It almost felt like you were like training to be a superhero. So I did enjoy that. Even though it was for kids, it was like 5 minutes. I think that one was the ad. I just enjoyed movement, and they do have for different age groups, which I absolutely adore. All right, so yeah, that's absolutely adore. What I would say though is that sometimes I love Rachel. She's one of the instructors, and Daniel, but particularly Rachel. Sometimes she says these things where you're like, oh, they're a little cringy, but she's good spirit. It's like one of the things that I would say that I found about Les Mills on Demand that I love is I've done Les Mills programs when I was in the UK, and I've done them here in Australia, and then I also now done them online. It's the consistency of the quality of trainers and instructors. It's almost the same level of enthusiasm, people who love the programs, people who love the classes. And I loved it because there's also a sense of like, even though you're doing a group class, there's also so much sense of individualism, and you're just coming into the space by yourself. Although the people you do have in your class sometimes change, but point is, it's amazing. I think you should try it. Depending on what your results are, there are plans that are catered to results, but you also need to understand that with all things fitness, the gym is just one aspect of it. Your nutrition is a big part of it. So I did not change my nutrition. Like I told you, I most probably went from okay nutrition to awful nutrition, thanks to quarantine, thanks to just life. And I wanted it also to stay that way instead of changing my diet, is because I wanted to give a more realistic, not realistic, but I wanted to give an honest experience of what it looks like to be somebody who's fit, getting fit and getting stronger. Because I do feel fitter, I do feel stronger, I do feel, happier, and there are other things that I enjoyed from the workout. So absolutely, this was like such a great challenge for me.